Hello everyone, Chris LaChava with RE/MAX Heritage Professionals, and in this video I want to talk a little bit about four mistakes four myths, I guess, that buyers are believing today that are costing them the ability to purchase a home. So, and they're often hurting sellers as well in terms of selling their home. So the first myth that a lot of buyers believe in particular is that the housing market is about to crash just like in 2008. The first thing I want to say about that is the 2008 housing market crash was a once-in-a-lifetime event. We had not seen anything like that really prior to in the housing market, and we will not likely see anything similar to that any time in the near future. That market crash was caused and the whole recession was caused by the housing market. It was caused by lenders giving loans to people who really weren't qualified for those loans. So basically, if you could breathe, you could get a mortgage and you could purchase a home. And the problem was that people didn't have the ability to pay their mortgage. And so what happened is they would start defaulting on their mortgages, and we ended up with a flood of foreclosures hitting the housing market. And when that, short sales and foreclosures, and when that happened, it drove down prices for everybody's home because we had a flood of inventory on the market. Since then, there's been a lot more safety mechanisms put in place in the lending process to ensure that those types of loans don't get given out again. Basically, people who are qualifying for loans anytime in the last 5-7 years are well qualified. So they're not likely to default on the loans, and that's being proven by our historically low default rates currently on our mortgages. Additionally, because home prices increased so exponentially during the pandemic, most homeowners actually have equity. So even if they need to sell because they can no longer afford their mortgage because they've had a change in job status or something like that's happened, the likelihood is that they can sell and they will still have money left over. So because of that, we're not likely to see a flood of foreclosures, and we're not likely to see a flood of short sales. Another myth, owners have such good rates that they'll never sell. The reality is that in every market, people need to sell. It could be because of a job change or another major life event. People always need to move, and therefore people always need to sell. So now, if people have the option, they're probably going to stay in their home for their 3% mortgage rate rather than take on a 7.5% mortgage rate. But again, if their family size changes and they need a bigger house or they need to downsize, then that might be grounds for them to choose to go ahead and sell, even though they might have a higher mortgage rate. Besides, if you're downsizing, you might have enough equity in the home that you can actually purchase your smaller home outright in cash based on with the equity in your prior home. So it doesn't mean they will never sell. And even those who decide to wait, again, it doesn't mean they'll never sell. Most people do not stay in a home for 30 years. And even if they stay a little longer, we're talking a few years. Life changes, life happens, so people have to move eventually. Number 3, people are assuming that as interest rates rise, that home prices will drop. Actually, we're really not seeing that. Home prices have, I would say, over the last year, dropped a minor amount, but nowhere near getting back to pre-pandemic levels. And depending on which month you're talking about, sometimes the home prices have gone up even as rates have increased. It's not a one-to-one correlation. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to have a direct correlation either. Just because rates rise doesn't mean home prices will rise or will drop, because the reality is at the end of the day, we are still in an inventory shortage. So as long as there's not inventory to meet demand, prices are going to drive up. And then the fourth myth is that good credit buyers are subsidizing buyers with bad credit. This was there was a proposal a few months ago about Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac had a new fee structure where they were supposedly going to have some kind of a fee on those with good credit. That ended up going away. It doesn't work that way, and so that is not reality. Anyway, I hope understanding and breaking down these myths help you understand a little bit more about what's currently happening in our housing market. If you need more details and want to have a discussion about what's happening in the market, please reach out. I'd love to talk to you about what's really happening in the market. There's a lot of misinformation out there in the media. You also can tune in and watch some of my market update videos here on this YouTube channel. I post market update videos for Winter Haven and for Polk County overall every month. We should have one coming out here soon. But you can look at some of the older ones to kind of see what's been happening with the market during the last several years. Thank you for watching this video. Again, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and encourage your friends and family to do so. And remember, if you or someone you know is looking to buy a home in Central Florida, please reach out to me. I would love to help them. Have a great day.